What's up guys, welcome back to another video on the channel. Right now we're talking the top 5 baits you need during the spawn. The spawn is one of my favorite times to fish. It's not live scope, it's eye scope, and I love the interaction with those fish when they're on the bed, looking at a bass, trying to get them to bite, reading the fish's actions, seeing how they react to different baits. And these 5 baits right here will help you catch more fish. Bait number 1 is of course the GCrack Bellow Shad. If you've watched my channel for long, you know I love the GCrack Bellow Shad. It's my signature bait, so here's a shameless plug. Make sure you check them out on tacklewarehouse.com or any retailer that has them available. But this bait right here has caught me a lot of big fish, and it's made me a lot of money for one specific reason. It is a versatile bait, but it also gets bit when they're on beds. This profile is so lifelike, it shimmies so well, and whenever you're working a bait on a bed, you want something that's gonna sit there in place, but also move. These ribs, this soft SAF plastic does just that. I've got 3 favorite colors of the Bellow Shad. We've got a lot of colors, but I have 3 that stand out to me. Number 1, AJ's Juice. Love this. It's green pumpkin with purple flake. It's gonna stand out. It matches forage all across the country. If you just could only buy one color Bellow Shad, it's gonna be this one right here. Number 2 is gonna be white. I do a lot of different things with it during the shad spawn, but when they're on beds, throwing a white bait can be helpful on a finicky fish that's eating the bait just halfway, and you wanna be able to see that bait to know when to set the hook. And then number 3, probably my favorite sight fishing color to generate a big bite, is gonna be sunburnt gill. It's kind of a translucent-y blue. It just has that nice bluegill shimmer to it. Very lifelike. The way I fish this bait, very simple. I'm gonna throw a 3 or a 4/0 straight shank flipping hook. I'm gonna throw a 3/8 ounce weight. You can go lighter, but I like to have a heavier weight, get it down, get it on the bed, and with that heavy weight, I can shake it and not move it far. It's gonna stay in place really well as these ribs just kind of let them do their job. Be patient, fish it slow. And again, with that straight shank flipping hook, make sure you're throwing it on big line. It's not a finesse tactic. There are other ways to rig it if you want to throw it on light line, but with this rigging, 50-pound braid, 25-pound leader. If you want to flip straight fluoro, I would go to an EWG, something a little thinner wire hook where the hook's going to be a little more exposed, because if you're throwing that big meaty straight shank, if you're throwing it on fluoro, a lot of stretch, it's going to be hard to get that hook penetration. Bait number 2, surprise, surprise, it's going to be the Wacky Rig. This bait right here is brand new from GCrack. This is the SAF stick, and you're probably saying, hey Alton, that's a Senko. Yeah, it's a Senko with SAF material. The SAF material is the GCrack smell that they're all known for. You open up a bag, some people say it smells bad, some people say it smells good. I think it smells like a bag of Fritos, so if you think of it like that, it smells really good. This bait has got a really good rate of fall to it. It's a bait we've been working on for a long time just to get how limber the bait is, how fast it's gonna fall, the right plastic hardness to get it to move just right. And this bait, just like any stick worm, very versatile. You want to wacky rig it, you want to Texas rig it, you want to Nico rig it, you can do it all. I mean, you can Carolina rig it for all I care, even though I hate a Carolina rig. But this bait right here catches them really, really good. Favorite color, again, gonna be AJ's Juice. We haven't even nailed down all the colors that we're gonna offer this bait in yet, but be looking for this thing in the summer. Caught a lot of fish on this at Lake Murray, and this bait, something about do-nothing baits in the springtime. You know, something with not a ton of action. It's just gonna have a natural, slow fall. Unless you're sight fishing a fish, I like lighter weights in the springtime, tends to generate more bites. Something about that slow fall just gets more and bigger bites. So noted, if you're fishing shallow enough, if it's not windy, anytime you can wacky rig this bait, do so. If you need a little bit of weight, throw that Nico in it. It's gonna make it stand up, get you a little bit faster rate of fall. But one thing, when you're wacky rigging it, it's gonna get that nice natural shimmy. You can either throw a rubber band around it. I love to throw a GCrack Nico hack. And man, this thing just steady gets bit. I got my first batch of them at Lake Murray. And now, when you're fishing a professional level event, not the time you want to test new baits out. But about the 3rd dock I skipped it under, caught a 4-pounder, 412 actually, and that locked it in. Caught the majority of my fish the other week at Lake Murray on this thing right here. And red crest, but I didn't do good at red crest, so we'll not talk about that. Bait number 3, we're getting more fun. It's the frog. This little frog right here is the jackal. I want to say it's the Carro Frog. There's a lot of different frogs on the market. This one's just pretty cool. It's kind of heavy for its size. Very, very small. I mean, it's probably half the size of your traditional spro frog or pad crasher. So I think it gets a lot of bites in scenarios when fish might be missing frogs. I've always been told to have a dainty sneeze. And throwing a frog, it's really your choice on what frog you want to throw, what hooks you want to put in it. But a frog in the springtime when they're around beds is one of the best ways to catch the female. So when these fish pull up on beds, you get a male and a female. Typically speaking, the male is going to be more aggressive. He's going to guard harder. He's going to run the female off when there's a bait in the bed. You get a unicorn every once in a while where the female wants to eat first, but generally speaking, the female is going to either spook off from the bed and not want to come back when you're around, or she's going to sit just off that bed a little deeper where she's hard to see. But a frog worked very, very slow is a great way to generate that female to come up and bite. I don't know if it's because, you know, it's just an easy meal. Number one, I'm going to work it super slow in the spring, just a walk in the dog action. Number two, the distance of your casts. I think by the time you get close enough to see the fish, there's one problem with that, is they can see you too. I love to throw this thing in very, very long ways. If I'm fishing a shoreline, I'll actually land the bait on the shore, keep it as stealthy as possible, walk it off, and walk it out a little further than you think you should. If you think the bed is here, I'm going to work it to here, because a lot of times that big fish is going to be sitting out here, and just when you think I'm too far out, I need to reel it in, she'll come up and eat it. And it sometimes can be the fish of a lifetime. I can remember at Lake Palestine having a double-digit fish come up and eat my frog, and I missed her, and I actually sat on that fish for 3.5 hours the rest of the day. Could not get her to bite again. But that morning she triggered on a frog and gave me an opportunity, and that's why I throw a frog in the springtime. It's a great way to catch a big one, and who doesn't like to throw a frog? I mean, come on. Bait number 4 is going to be the Finesse Worm. And I know what you're probably thinking, Alton, you already did a stick worm. Why are we doing a Finesse Worm? I got to give this guy an honorable mention right here, because I have seen it before where a Finesse Worm outfishes a stick worm 10-1. One of my examples is Grand Lake. We had an Elite Series event there in 2018. And I was throwing a stick worm, getting 1 or 2 bites a day. Picked up a trick worm. At that time, it was just a standard Zoom trick worm, and it turned into 30 bites a day. Something about that slimmer profile, you're going to get a lot more action with it. It gets a lot of bites. I mean, we just saw the Bassmaster Classic get one on a Finesse Worm just like this. This is the GCrack G-Crawler. This is not going to have its own great rate of fall, so I'm going to throw a Nico in it every single time. The only problem is you're going to lose your skippability out of it. It's going to become very hard to skip, but you got to get the bait right to get the bites, and then you got to worry about getting it in the fish's home. So gonna rig this with a GCrack Nico hack. If you guys have watched the channel for a long time, you know what it is. If you guys saw how the Classic got one, you know what it is. But it's a spear that threads through the bait wherever you want to Nico it. You can Nico the Bellow Shad, you can Nico the G-Crawler here. This bait right here is one I'm trying to get GCrack to bring to the States. This one is a Japan only release, but this is actually the original Nico worm, and it was the first bait ever designed with a flat head just like that for a screw-in nail weight. And so one of the things that not many people know about GCrack is how early to the game on a lot of these really cool techniques they were. But switch down to a Finesse Worm, it will get you bites. I also love to throw this thing on a flick shake head, the Jackal flick shake head. That'll give you the natural weight, and then instead of a straight fall, if you throw the flick shake head, you're going to get that more of a wacky rig style flutter down at the bottom. So 2 ways I rig it. At times, it will outfish a stick worm. I still think the stick worm gets bigger bites, but this, when they won't bite this is a great way to go. For bait number 5, last but not least, it's the swimming worm. This bait right here is phenomenal in the springtime in flat, vast fisheries. Really see it excel in like Florida, but anywhere you have grass, East Texas lakes, Toledo Bend, Sam Rayburn, we've got expansive grass flats that are shallow with holes. They can be very overwhelming to cover. Swimming a worm like this one, this is the Strike King Cutter Worm. You can throw a Zoom Speed Worm, that's kind of the OG. Bitter Speed Worm, I don't know if they call it a speed worm, but it's a speed worm. Great way to catch fish. It's not the best big fish bait, but it's really good for locating areas of spawners. You can get out in those grass flats, swim it around slow to mid speeds. I throw it on an 1/8 ounce weight, pegged, kind of just on a flipping setup. You can throw it on fluoro or braid, but this bait right here, great way to cover water and generate a lot of bites. When it's tough outside, you know, if you've been catching them on a chatterbait on a windy day and you think these fish are spawning and it gets slick, calm, and sunny, break out the swimming worm. It's just a little more subtle. Fish it like a swim bait. If you think you're in a great spot where one's spawning, drop it into that hole, fish it slow along the bottom, then start swimming it again. But these baits right here, if you've got these baits in the springtime, these 5 baits, you will catch bass at any place in the country when they're on beds. So these are my 5 baits. I hope they catch you more fish. They catch me a lot of fish. Thank you guys for watching this video. We're gonna link these 5 baits in the description, except the G-crawler, because they're not available here in the States yet. If you want to buy them, you're gonna have to go somewhere on eBay or Backlash Japan or something. But these 5 baits will help you catch more fish. We're gonna link them below. We'll see y'all in the next video.